Hi business owners, hope you're all well. In today's video, we will be learning how to use AI to help us create social media content and help us with some of our design to create marketing content for our businesses. So we'll use a free version of an AI tool called Claude, and I'll show you how to use that to get your content right. And then we'll step into Canva to help with the design side of things. If you are using the free versions of any AI tools, use AI responsibly. Don't put in your personal information or your client's personal information into a free version of these tools. So let's get started. If you have not watched the previous video where we used AI and Canva to help create a company profile, I'll also show you the final version of that company profile and another very important document. It's called a brand guide. So enjoy the video and let me know in the comments which AI tools you're using to help you do useful things in your business.
The thing we need to do is go into Claude.ai. You can open up a free account for yourself. Once you're logged in, you can start a new chat. You'll click on the plus button to start a new chat. What I've done in the background is I've taken out the information from Canva, the logo, the company profile, and we've also done a brand guide. So let's just take a step back first. When we were in Canva in our previous tutorial, which was the first video, we created this logo in Canva. Then we had this profile that didn't look too good that we shared to show how we're going to use it to create a better profile. And then after working on this profile, used a bit of AI and a bit of Canva, mostly Canva, to help. And this is what we came up with. This is the updated company profile. So you can get images online. And this just gives you a full view of, well, the entire company profile, including the table of contents, etc. But we took it one step further. And so what I've done is a very important document we should all have as business owners. It's called a brand guide. So if you have a look here in Canva, we created a brand guide. And a brand guide is essentially a document that shows you how to use your business logo in the different formats. It shows the colors. It gives you the hex codes of your colors that you stick to. It also has your business fonts. So in this business, we've got a font, a primary font, a secondary font. And you can make this as complicated or as simple, multiple pages. It can be a single page. So in Canva, we just set up a simple brand guide. And the reason we've done this is so that when we start creating content and we're using AI, or we're using it ourselves internally, or staff members in our company, when you start employing people, they know exactly how to use your company logo. They know how to use your brand colors. This really helps keep your brand consistent, because you don't find a bank that's maybe yellow using a purple bank's colors. So this is all done to keep everything consistent. So what we've done is we went into Claude. You sign up for that free account, and if you click here, you can upload. So if you click on the plus button here, you can upload files or photos, and I uploaded the logo and the other documents. So this is what I've put into Claude, and this is so important. Make sure that you're putting in as much information as possible and you're telling AI what to do. So I'm not going to read all of this to you, but essentially we've given a brand brief to say this is what the brand is. There's the documents attached. What we want to be done: 1 month of content for a Facebook page, the format, and then I also mentioned include a Canva image prompt. So when we use Canva, we're going to try and see how we can prompt and how can we also manually create posts for our Facebook page for this company we've made up. So we're going to click on here and let it get to work. So I'll fast forward a part of this just so that you can see what it comes up with to save some time. And then we'll go into Canva and we're going to get work done inside of Canva, I've opened up a special separate page where we've got Facebook posts. So that was quite quick. Here's all the content it's given. It said for week 1, brand philosophy, and it's given us a post, a caption for the post, which is here. And then also it's given us some hashtags, and it's also given us a Canva image prompt. So if we go through this, it's given us lots of different types of content. So there's a seasonal tip. You will obviously, in your kind of business, put as much information as you can as possible so that when it creates this content for you, it's perfectly aligned to your business. Okay, so I'm just going to close that. Look, there's so much more you can do with Claude, and the way we're building out the social media content at the moment is just one way of doing it. So as I scroll through here, it's actually giving us a lot of details, what colors to use. So let's take this as an example, week 3 Friday, and we're going to say, let's copy this. So we're going to copy. So I'm going to go into Canva again. I opened up Canva post page. Let's go into generate. And if you're on the free version of Canva, you may not be able to generate lots of images, but let's try this first one with as a test, and then we'll say generate. So sometimes it may take a while. If you're using the free version of Canva, you may only get a certain amount of credits to do this. But in most cases, you should be able to get by, and that's the reason why we're using the free version of Claude, and we're using the free. You can also use the free version of Canva if you want to. So be a bit patient while it generates. It says the design is ready. We can click on this and add it to this. Now, the nice thing is once you've done this is you can see that because we use the brand guide, we need to stick to our brand fonts. So there's the brand font we're using, Nuri, and obviously we can change this here to LUSH. Important also, stick to your brand colors. So if your brand colors are for LUSH, stick to the colors from your brand. So I don't want to go into too many examples, but essentially what we've done is we use that prompt right from inside of Claude to create that image that's based on this. Now, it may not always be perfect, but you can always adjust it. The point of this video is to show you that there's all your social media content created. These are your captions, your hashtags, all the text you need. So what you can then do is start working in Canva for this. Now, if you do happen to run out of credits, for example, all you do is you can also do this manually in Canva. So I'm going to close this. And we're going to say we're looking for gardening and landscaping. And here you see the Canva templates. Now don't forget, the ones that have this icon on there may not be available if you're not in the Pro plan, but you will find lots that you can use that's not premium. So for example, if you decided to use this post, it's not a premium post, you can go into this post and you can add your brand colors, for example. So if you see there's a color there and that's your colors for your brand, you click on the colors, you change it. Same thing with the fonts. This is not your font for your business. Because you've got the brand guide you set up, use your business fonts, put your company details in. I'm quite impressed with the one that was done from Claude, because if you look, it was quite a simple process. But the important point I want to make here is that whenever you're working inside of Claude, make sure that you're giving a very detailed prompt. Add as much information as you can, because when it starts to help you create these Canva prompts, it actually gives a lot of detail. So let's do one more example. Let's take this one, go back into Canva, then we're going to add a page, And then we're going to say templates. And we're going to close this, and we're going to just copy and paste again. And let's see what it comes up with. So we're going to say generate. So I'm only going to do these 3 posts. I don't think it's necessary to do more than these. You obviously, for your kind of business, once you get into it or you have somebody helping you do this, it just shows you that there's an easier way to do it. And using your social media content that you've built up through using Claude, you should have enough content for the entire month, irrespective of the type of business you're in. So yeah, it's done this one. And doesn't really look all that good, but maybe it is something you can use once again. The nice thing is you can go and edit, put your brand fonts in. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. If you're using different tools to help with your social media content, let me know what you're using for your AI. Share in the comments. The good thing about doing it this way is that you have full control over everything. So now you can edit images. You could change this if you want to. You could add more text. I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and good luck out there creating your social media content for your business. I hope this way is much easier. There is also a different way to do this. Let me know if you're interested in me sharing another video on an alternative option you can use to start creating your social media content for your business. And see you in the next video.